Hit. Scene 6.
Hey everybody, it's time for GMG in the Raw Live. Grab your favorite beverage of choice and join us as we discuss the Minnesota Vikings. Feel free to add in your comments and we'll talk about them on air. GMG in the Raw Live is about to start. Look at the countdown timer. Once it hits 0, we're starting with the best Vikings post-game show out there. Type in your questions, your comments. We'll talk about them. Hey everybody, it's time for GMG in the Raw Live. Grab your favorite beverage of choice and join us as we discuss the Minnesota Vikings. Feel free to add in your comments and we'll talk about them on air. GMG in the Raw Live is about to start. Look at the countdown timer. Once it hits 0, we're starting with the best Vikings post-game show out there. Type in your questions, your comments. We'll talk about them. it's Dave here from Good Morning Gallahorn, and we have for you GMG in the Raw. After the Vikings victory over the Detroit Lions. But first, I want to introduce my compadres in crime. And immediately to the viewers right of me, I have the one, the only, the fantastic Mr. Flip Muzzy.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. 2 in a row, boys. Easy win over the Detroit Lions, as Arthur Rocha says, beating up on the Detroit Kitty Cats. Easy.
Absolutely.
It's just like life is normal, man. Let's go.
And with that, we also have, to the viewers right on the far end, the absolute fantastic left coaster who plays guitar, the bass to be exact, like no other, the bass ripper, Mr. Drewster. How you doing, buddy?
That's 6 in a row over the Kitty Cats right there, Flip. How do you feel about that?
Hey, yeah, I'm used to it, man. In cruise control against the Lions. Love it. Love it.
God, it was sweet. And there was some really good things. I took notes this time. Woo. And there's some really sweet things, and there were some things that meh. But we come out with another victory. I do. I like taking notes. It shows
That's
how
good,
much
Dave.
I've
We like
drank.
you to be,
They
let's
start out legible,
the drinks.
and they end
How
up
are you going to
not
show
so.
us a piece of paper before your beer, David? Come on, man.
Hey,
Come
what
on.
do you mean? Flip had whiskey today, didn't you, Flip? Don't you usually have whiskey during the game? Or is that not an every
Oh,
week
yeah.
thing?
What? It's right here.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
It's right here. Every
Oh,
week.
there you go.
yeah. See, I'm doing Luguanis little something.
Lucky you're not doing shots after every block punt. You'd be drunker than shit by now.
Oh, what is up with
Hey,
that?
Hey, Flip, David, when's the last time you guys saw 2 block punts in a game on the same team, against the same team?
I don't think I ever have.
Hey, it doesn't matter when you got Dalvin Cook back there, baby. They can block all the punts they want. They can block
Marlon
all the
Malou.
punts they want.
Oh, speaking of which, what was his final stats on the day? Dalvin Cook,
203 yards or something?
206 rushing and 200 and oh, more than that.
What, he had like 60 yards, 252,
206
52% of the
rushing.
Vikings total offense, 252 yards, I think. Is that right? It's something like that. It's something ridiculous.
It's 252, 206 on the ground and 46 in the air. That's
Most valuable
amazing.
player in the NFL.
What
MVP.
a slouch, dude. You can't pull your own
MVP.
weight? Come on, man.
Let's get some questions in the comments. Let's go, boys. A W.
That's
2 in a row. Let's see
absolutely.
some hype.
It might help if I bring up the comments window. Here we go. Boom. All right, we already have Arthur Rocha. Everything as it should be, beating up the Detroit Kitty Cats.
275 yards on the ground.
And then we have our favorite
Let's make
Freddie
something
Hall
clear.
back. Run the table,
What?
baby.
Dalvin Cook is worth every penny. Every penny. And all these people saying contract's not worth it, don't pay running backs. Okay, let's look at the actual numbers because y'all don't know the numbers. You just see a new contract. You think they're paying him like Jesus Christ. No, it's very simple, y'all. Dalvin Cook is making $4.6 million this year against the cap hit. That's the 14th highest cap hit in the NFL for running backs. It's not like we're paying him top 5 money this year. His new contract hasn't even started yet. So he's a bargain right now. He's worth every penny. Next year, even after the extension comes into place, Dalvin Cook is making $5.2 million against the cap hit. That's 10th among running backs in the NFL right now. Still, he's way better than the 10th best running back in the NFL. So stop talking to me about Dalvin Cook's salary. It's not that high. It's a bargain. It was a great contract. It's going to escalate from there. But at that point, I mean, the way Dalvin is playing, you got no problems with this, okay? This is Minnesota Vikings football. This is Mike Zimmer football. It looks great right now. Dalvin's leading the charge. He's got the C on his chest. Let's go. Skol, baby. I love this fucking football team and the way they're playing right now.
Speaking of the C, it was Dalvin Cook that led the breakdown after warm-ups. It wasn't Kirk Cousins. It wasn't Eric Kendricks. It was Dalvin Cook. That shows to me leadership, and I like seeing it. Drew,
yeah, well, he's been doing that all year. So
has he?
He's got to be the best running back in football right now. I mean, is there any question about that? Dalvin Cook is the best running back in the NFL as of the last 2 weeks, I would have to say. I mean, who's better than Dalvin Cook?
There's no question. Drew, I need you to say it with way more confidence than that, okay? Let's try again.
No, I've been saying it all along. I'm the one who was fighting everybody off season when they were saying trade Cook. I was the guy standing up against the fucking mob. I was against them saying you need Dalvin Cook to win games. There's no.
You were saying
I don't even want to go over it again. I've gone over it so many fucking times. I don't want to go over it again. I don't, because I was speaking up for Dalvin Cook. Everybody wanted to trade him and the contract, trade him, and he gets hurt all the time. This is what he is. This is what Dalvin Cook is. And he looked even more fantastic this week than last week. And they were keying on the jukes and the ankle breaks that guy leaves on people is fucking. I'm on rewind all day.
Oh yeah, man.
he caught a pass out in the flat today. I think he was 8 yards from the first down, and I knew he was going to.
3rd and 9. It was like
I
a
knew he was going to
9.
get it. I knew that guy was like 2 yards from him when he caught it, and I knew exactly the guy was not going to get him, and he was going to get the first down.
It's like a 3rd and 9. Kirk has to throw the ball like 3 feet, and there's a defender right in his face. It doesn't even matter. Cook makes that guy miss. Yep. Easy first down on 3rd and 9. You're throwing a pass out into the flat. Things only Dalvin Cook can do.
The vision, the balance, the power, the speed, all of it, all wrapped up into one. The guy, my God, man. I don't want to say where we'd be without him because, you say one guy doesn't carry a team, but I have to say offensively, Dalvin Cook does it. The last 2 weeks, it's been Dalvin's show.
It has
been. And that's what the Vikings are. That's what they need to do.
Uh-huh.
And
but
just mentioned last week, can't do this week after week after week, so we'll see.
Just for the naysayers that any back can do it. Alexander Madison did have 69 yards rushing. Now, most of it is garbage time, but
it's typical Alex Madison crap, dude. Yeah. I'm a huge Alex Madison fan. He's very good. He's very dependable.
He's a great number 2.
Look what happened when he started for Cook, though, Dave. Look what happened when he started for Cook.
He's not a great number 2 right now. He's a solid backup running back in the NFL. If he was a great number 2, he'd be getting 12 to 15 carries per game. And you look around the league, there's way more of a timeshare. Well, we got 12 because they're all in garbage time. I mean,
most of them were.
I mean,
there was a few rests in between, but yeah, earlier.
I love the guy. He's not Dalvin Cook. And I think in any other offense, sure, you can give the ball to Alex Madison, but just the way this offense is structured, it needs Dalvin Cook right now, and Dalvin's playing out of his mind. So this is the type of game where Madison fans are like, oh, we could save a bunch of money. You'd be saving $4 million. We're not paying Dalvin that much.
Well, and
so why
Drew
would you not take that?
Dalvin has the ability to change the game on any given snap. He has the ability to take over. And Madison's the type where you got to lather him up before he's cooking real well. And that takes time. Dalvin cooked this game. Those 206 yards were on 22 carries. That's almost 10 yards a carry by my top of the head math. And that's amazing. That's just,
it's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable.
Well, the difference is Cook is a chunk yardage guy. Whether he's catching screens or running the ball, he's going to get 30-yard runs in the game. Madison's not going to get you any of those chunk plays. He's not going to hit you a home run. He might get you 5 or 6 on a good run, but I think in tandem they're good. They're good. They're good together. He's good to come in and spell him. He's good enough for that. But
Madison's job is not to gain yards; it's to make sure that Dalvin Cook doesn't get injured. So you got to keep some sort of 20 carries. We can't have Dalvin carrying the ball 35 times a game, or the guy's going to get injured, and that's when the entire team falls apart. Cook is the MVP, like Freddie Holt.
Especially now that they've dug themselves this hole, Flip. They're trying to dig out of this hole. They especially got to lean on Dalvin Cook if they,
Well,
that's.
I'm not happy about it. It's just what they got to do. So do it.
No, I know. I agree.
Yeah. Now, to become MVP, he's obviously playing at an MVP level, but to become an MVP, he's got to drive us all the way into the postseason. And we're not there yet. Hopefully we get there, but we're not there yet.
Who's the Lions? They're terrible.
Well, a question after today is, does their coach get fired?
I don't even care.
Neither do I. Next question.
I care more about what I find in my lint dispenser or my fucking dryer than I do about Matt Patricia keeping his job. Who cares?
Next question is, we have Flip's favorite statistic for his pet quarterback, and that is?
What?
0 turnovers for Kirk Cousins, baby. Let's go. 2 in a row, Kirk. That's all you got to do. He's getting tackled from the blindside blitz. I don't care as long as he doesn't fumble the football. Good job. He's missing Adam Thielen on wide open touchdown passes. I don't care as long as he doesn't throw interceptions. Man, I'm good. Well done, Kirk. That's the new Kirk Cousins, baby. Control and limit the Vikings. Kirk Cousins in Vikings wins this season. He's thrown 14 attempts. 20 attempts today, 22 attempts in the game against the Houston Texans that they won. So anytime Kirk throws more than 22 times a game, the Vikings lose. Anytime they limit him, the Vikings win.
I heard
Great
that
job,
stat
Kirk.
on Score North.
Great
looked
job,
it up.
Kirk.
It's not quite true.
I thought he was going to fumble on that sack. I got to be honest. I was shocked.
They brought it up that anytime he throws more than 25 times, he loses. That's not quite true. He loses, I think it's 2 out of 3 times. So if we can
in his career, but all 5 times this year.
All 5
in
times
his career, yes, but all 5 times this year, when we've tried to load up on Kirk, the guy's throwing interceptions more than Jameis. So
now he did have 3 touchdowns today, and what I thought should have been the 4th, because that was close to Adam Thielen there at the end. So I can't knock it. It was a good game plan. The mix between Dalvin owning the game and Kirk supplementing that. I thought it was good.
I'm not going to knock Kirk Cousins when he doesn't turn the ball over. I'm not going to do it. I want to, but I'm not going to.
As frustrating as those 3rd and 12 checkdowns up the middle to the tight end are, I'm not going to knock him either.
I'm not going to knock.
Now, I did write in my notes on the one where it was like 3rd and 9 and they throw 7 yards. But I thought
turn it over. That's all we want out of him.
That overall, it was decent.
Yeah,
the pass he dropped into Jefferson. That was a nice pass he dropped in there to Jefferson down the sideline.
He overthrew the one before it, but that was a nice one. Yes.
Which is fine. They took their shots, but this is clean football. This is what I've been looking for from the Minnesota Vikings. Win or lose, they came out clean. No early interception, no early safety. They came out clean. They got Dalvin Cook going. They got key completions. Adam Thielen for a first down. Justin Jefferson for a first down early. Kyle Rudolph for a first down early. CJ Ham with good blocking. Irv Smith with the touchdown. So that's good, clean football out the gate. nothing too flashy, but just good fundamentals, and they show up early. And when you get that first half lead and when you don't turn the ball over, that's winning football. Teams win 90% of the games where they do those two things. So I loved seeing it from the Minnesota Vikings.
Flip, let me ask you a question. I got a lot of questions, but I'll ask you this one right now.
I'm here for you, Drew.
What is
Thank you.
I'm here. What is the difference of the team that we've seen the last 2 weeks and the first 5 weeks out of the gate? There's something, what offensively, just maybe on the offensive side of the ball, last week against the team from Wisconsin and against the Lions this week, is it just starting to take them this long to get it clicking? Or what is the deal? What is your take on that?
Well,
compared to the first 3 games.
The offense and defense are two different things. I think the offense, number one, is they tried to come out passing, and they were right to come out passing early on in the year, but it just didn't work because they were turning the ball over too much. And so, I think
blocking was horrible.
Well, the pass blocking is still, a work in progress. It's getting better. But I think the turnaround in offense came when they challenged their offensive line to push forward, develop a good run game, dictate the pace of the game, get Ezra Cleveland on the field, and, kind of relax Kirk Cousins a bit. Stop trying to play this, hey, Kirk, you're our $30 million quarterback, so you got to make every throw. That was the mentality to start the year. And now nobody wants to talk about Kirk's salary because they don't even look. They just ignore Kirk, how much Kirk is making, and start looking at what Kirk can do. So when you start treating him like a $20 million quarterback instead of a $35 million quarterback, things get better. You get Ezra in there. You're pushing forward. You got Dalvin Cook rallying the troops. That's the difference we see on offense, where they're not just trying to drop back and throw at the start of the games.
Speaking of Ezra, Infinity saw that. They say in Ezra is what happened. I watched Ezra today quite a few times where I focused, and every single time he was blocking 2, 3, 4 yards down the field if it was a straight block. And if he was pulling, he and CJ Ham were usually leading and busting the hole up for Cook. And he was hitting guys 10, 15 yards down the field. And I kind of love it. I didn't see him. I didn't watch him every play, but the plays I didn't see him mess up. I saw him dominating. And that's, for the most part, dominating. And that attitudinal change that I'm seeing on the O-line gives me hope that maybe the beginning of the season was a fluke. Now, obviously the defense has its issues, but offensively wise, we look like we've been turning the corner.
The last 2 weeks, the Minnesota Vikings offensive line has looked athletic, and they look confident, and they look like they're playing with some grit, but they are opening up some of these replays. They're opening up some gashing alleyways for Dalvin Cook. And he doesn't really need an alley. He needs Dalvin Cook. He needs to sneak through the point of attack, and then his specialty is the juke in the second level, and he's gone. The DBs don't want to see that juke. They don't want to see it, but the Vikings offensive line are just, the last 2 weeks have been knocking people on their asses, and I love it.
And yeah, everyone's gonna look at Ezra as a guy. Ezra Cleveland can play. I think we know that right now. I think as someone who was really skeptical of putting him at guard, I gotta tip my cap to Rick Dennison. That plan is working, but it's not just Ezra. Riley Reef, like, whoa,
yeah, he's had his best season.
We are getting Riley Reef's best season in purple, maybe best season in his career. Brian O'Neill struggled for the first 2 or 3 games this year. He looks like he's back. So the entire offensive line is playing much better. I would still love to get Dakota Dozier out of there. But when things are looking this good in the run game, We're keeping teams off balance in the pass game. All of our sacks is when we just choose not to block a guy and hope that Kirk Cousins holds onto the ball. So, yeah, you really like how the Vikings are developing in the trenches.
Yep.
I know I am.
Yeah, and you look at what's happening with Ezra. You look at Justin Jefferson. Looks like we got a stud there, and Jeff Gladney coming along. I mean, how many tackles did Jeff Gladney have today? So those are your top 3 draft picks from the 2020 draft that are starting to turn that corner and make us feel like we got something down the road here.
Yep, and they're in their rookie seasons. That doesn't happen often.
You know, one of the knocks I've been hearing the last couple of weeks. Well, we drafted Ezra Cleveland as a tackle. We drafted Ezra. Hey, you know what? With this offensive line, the pains in the ass I've had to look at as a fan, I don't care where he plays. If he ends up being a competent starter, get him in there. If he ends up being a great guard, he's a great guard. I'm not fighting it. So, I don't care where he plays.
David, is Pat Elflein going to be back this season?
That's a good question. He had the 3-week. He's under the 3-week return from IR deal.
I don't know how any of that shit works.
If he does not return to the active status by the end of this coming up week, he goes on IR for the rest of the season.
There's plenty of college guys that play tackle that ended up being good guards in the NFL.
Well, most of the play tackle in the NFL go to guard.
Look at Dalton Reisner when he played at Kansas State. He was a tackle. He came in. Now Denver got him. Denver said we're making him a guard at the draft. He's one of the best guards in the league.
Most college tackles convert to guard. But
we'll see what happens there.
I would say most do. If they're drafted, most do.
Let me address some comments right now. Freddie, we're not giving Eric Wilson a game ball. The guy had like 2 tackles compared to Chris Boyd, who had 11. He had Eric Wilson had an interception. Eric Kendrick had an interception too, and way more tackles. We're not giving Eric Wilson a game ball. Stop
Eric Wilson.
Stop
13 total tackles, 8 solo, a half a sack, and a pass defense. That's Eric Wilson's stat line.
I'm not giving Eric Wilson a game ball. Stop it.
And a pick.
Stop it.
That's pretty good.
Chris Boyd, I'll give that guy a game ball because I don't even understand where we found him. And he's going up against Marvin Jones. Our defense makes no sense right now. I don't like Eric Wilson.
And Marvin Jones has killed us the last few years.
I don't like Eric Wilson. Sorry, I'm never gonna turn the corner at him. Thank you, Pierre Gladney. Great and run support. Yes. Love and Jeff.
Gladney had a great game today. And we've all been kind of the Vikings.
The defense is just Zimmer's little formula. It's finally starting to come along, and maybe it took too long. I still think it took too long. I mean, we're 3-5. Let's not get our head of ourselves.
Real quick, you know what I thought about this game? Dave used to say last year on the show, the first long pass of the game will determine how your team's going to do, right? And Stafford chucked that 50-yard pass. And I'm thinking, as soon as Boyd knocked it away, I thought that's what Dave's talking about. If that guy completes that pass, the whole day is going to be shit.
Yep.
It was a beautifully played ball on that one.
And Boyd got that one. And first comment of the notes.
Darren,
Boyd, good defense on first pass.
Who's Darren?
I'm not going to stop yelling. This guy, Darren, in the comments, I'm not going to stop yelling at the comments. I'm yelling at you. I know where Chris Boyd came from. I'm just joking with you. I got my grad school degree from the University of Texas. I know where Chris Boyd came from, okay? And your question about the Bears, who knows if it works against the Bears as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't throw any interception.
What are these questions? I want to know what's going on.
Gladney, the new Winfield. Oh, that would be sweet there, Pierre.
Come on, man.
But I'm not going that far yet.
One game.
Freddie wants no more block punts. You and everybody else, Freddie.
That might be a start.
I mean, we're not looking for perfection, y'all. We're 3-5. We can handle a couple block punts. That's like.
Yeah, okay. But I have noticed my boy, The young lieutenant snaps have been pretty piss poor.
You're not a fan of Cullen?
Cutting?
Cutting.
No,
I was a fan of
that
Cutting.
Like 3 years ago?
No, I am a fan of
There
Cutting.
was nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with his snaps. His snaps are fine.
No, on the missed extra point, it was low and skidded across the ground. However, it was picked up and put in place in time. And on one of those block punts, it was
How many of those has he had all year? How many low snaps on field goals or extra points?
I think this is 3 or 4 that he's had. It's been noticeable this year. If you watch long snapper play, it's noticeable.
I don't watch long snapper play.
I don't watch long snapper play.
Darren in the comments. I'm just joking, man. I love you, man. I love you. Keep on commenting. Bring them in. We got another comment about Mataafa. Man, that defensive line rotation right now, I don't even know who's in the game half the time. And we're not getting the most pressures in the world, but it's the weirdest thing to watch the Mike Zimmer defense right now. I mean, we come out and we play prevent defense for 3 quarters, and it's working because they're tackling. They know their assignments. There's a couple of coverage sacks happening right now, which is crazy. They're fooling Matt Stafford into easy interceptions. Mm-hmm. It's amazing because they're not blitzing. They don't have a strong front 4 pass rush. They're not bringing a safety down into the box, but it's still just all consistent, making everything difficult for the offense. I don't know if that happens against better teams, but it was great to see today.
Right, but that defensive front 4 did manage 2 sacks today.
You know, it's almost like they go 20 to 20. They just sit and prevent and let these 8-yard square out passes and 8-yard slant passes happen in front of them. And then when they get down to about the 25 or the 20, Harrison Smith looks at Kendricks and, all right, boys, let's tighten it up. And then they stop the team and hold them to a field. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Some of these drives teams they get down there and then we tighten up. But during the drive, they don't seem particularly interested in stopping these little square outs.
They slow them down. It's no big chunks.
Schematically, they look the same as they did against the Packers in week 1, to be honest. I mean, they're just keeping everything in front of them. They're getting a little better, a little tighter coverage on the boundaries from the cornerbacks, but I'm still a little worried about what happens when they go against the better quarterbacks and the better receivers in the NFL. Not the problem this week, though.
You see this? No. Reggie's going to send us ribs next Monday night. Thanks, Reggie. We appreciate that.
Woo. Reggie, you're our new favorite, Reggie Adams.
We'll send you our addresses.
Reggie, we talking Texas ribs. We talking Carolina ribs. What type of ribs you got,
Adams
Reggie?
Will cook any rib. He'll cook a fucking brontosaurus.
Man.
That guy's
Get
a barbecue
some ribs
king.
Up in here.
Had dinner over his house one night. Guy cooked 34 pounds of ribs. It was like 4 people there. It was amazing. He's the best.
Yes, Reggie is. He's awesome. Do it on the grill, cook. The only one
nice
that comes
interception, Chase Daniel.
Slightly close is our own Ted Glover, who should be here, but he didn't get to see the game.
Well, I'm sure Ted's got great things going on.
I'm sure he's drinking wine with his wife and enjoying life.
Ted, do your thing. Come on back.
Look, the Vikings 2 in a row. Look, they're tease and flip 2 in a row, 3 and 5. Here we go. Here we go, Vikings.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Flip said not until we're 500.
Thank you.
No,
I thought I was going to have to say it again. Let's get to 500.
Last week. Not yet. I mean,
it's once we hit 500 though, we're all for it. I'm going to be driving.
Once we hit 500, we're turning all the way up. I promise you. Hey, I promise you. If we hit 500.
If Cook keeps doing this every week, we have a good shot. But I'm telling you, one of these weeks he's going to get 40 yards, and you're going to see what the Vikings are made of offensively. You're going to see what they're made of.
You look at the stat line. Adam Thielen has had 4 targets last week, 5 targets this week. Justin Jefferson has had 8 targets combined in the last 2 weeks. So at some point, the Vikings need to convert smoothly back to the pass game when they start focusing on the run. That's why I was hoping to see them open it up a little bit early on in this game, which they did. They had some good intermediate strikes, but nothing consistently deep downfield, which is fine because you just, every time they hand the ball off to Dalvin Cook, they're getting 8 yards and you're like, okay, like I'm going to let this roll until they prove that they can stop us.
Next week is the test, baby. Soldier Field. I think Cook has like 42 yards combined his last 2 games there. Terrible games. He's never ran well there. So that'll be a good test to see if we can carry this Cook train the last 2 weeks right into Soldier Field and keep it going.
It will be a good game. But
Mr.
he
Campbell
gets
agrees with
today.
you.
He gets 100, 150 against the Bears in Soldier Field. The Vikings offense is clicking.
Let me look at this dashboard right now. The Bears lost 24-17. They scored all 17 of their points in garbage time. They held Derrick Henry to 68 yards rushing. And it looks like the Titans went ham passing the ball. Ryan Tannehill, little Kirk Cousins Sr. is what I like to call Ryan Tannehill, because he's been passing the ball a lot better than Kirk has. So, Tannehill, never mind, dude. This dude went 10 for 21 today. Good Lord.
If I think what's going to be key to see if the Vikings are on to anything for long term is that if Cook does get stymied next week and the Vikings still put up 30 plus, then they got something going.
Yes,
I'm anxious to see what happens if Cook gets shut down, Flip. I really am, because I think that's
yeah.
I want to see what happens.
Well, that's what I don't want that to happen before we start taking that seriously. And I love this comment from Pierre about Chad Beebe. Because if Cook gets shut down, Chad Beebe's going to have to play more than 10 snaps. I'm scared too, Pierre. I'm scared too. Look, no Angels were crying today. Chad Beebe didn't have any catches. No Angels got their wings clipped. It's a great Sunday.
Yeah, but Chad Beebe did have a good play on that short dribbly kick where he was the up man and he picked up the ball.
He caught a football on the hop and ran 15 yards out of bounds.
And he advanced it 15 yards.
My kid's sister could do that.
He could have fumbled it. He could have gotten hurt and pulled his hammy. It was a good play.
Tony Dungy watching Notre Dame last night. Guy loses 8 yards, and Tony Dungy said, well, he could have lost 20.
Yeah.
Y'all, I don't know about this whole KJ Osborne thing either, man. Like
that guy.
What? That guy. We got no kick return.
There's nothing special about KJ Osborne. I'd rather have Ozzy Osbourne. Fuck.
I saw Ozzy live on
does
his
he play wideout too, or
he got
kick returner?
he almost got banned from, it was Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they were threatening.
Was Randy Rhoads his guitar player?
I don't remember who was, but he was almost banned because he bit the head off the bat, and they were worried about rabies.
Come on, Dave, that never happened.
Yeah.
Drew, who's your defensive line MVP?
Aaron Donald. you know, this is going to sound crazy. You know who fights his ass off every play? And I know you guys are going to disagree with me. I like that Wanham guy, dude. That guy is fucking, he never takes a play off. He is fighting and scrapping and rolling and crawling and kicking. He is doing his best.
And he was this close to another sack today.
So I don't know if he's my MVP. I just like the way he plays. I like his motor, his energy. I think Wanham's going to, with a little bit of Patterson development, I think he can end up, he's my favorite guy to watch, I think, because I like guys who give effort.
Jamie, you don't have to worry. That's not
they cleared the way for Eric Wilson to have a bunch of tackles.
13 tackles, 8 solo, half a sack, and a pass defense. That's 28 skull points for Eric Wilson.
Ooh. That's a big day.
That's a
Come
big day.
see now, Reggie,
Reggie
you're
loves
acting like
Bonham. Like,
Reggie. You've been a Vikings fan for like 2 months. It feels like.
He is young.
Reggie is the most positive Viking fan you'll ever meet, and you
Quote,
can name me a list. He is. He loves.
we win 3 division games in a row, which we have not done yet. So calm down, Reggie. We will be limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing. Woo, Reggie.
Reggie is an awesome dude. Awesome,
Reggie, have
awesome
you
dude.
ever heard of the Vikings party boat? Because that's the plan you're putting us on right now,
Dude,
and it did not end in the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't be surprised if I bet you Reggie was on that party boat, bro.
Oh,
That
what? He'd
Fred
been like
Smoot
14.
He's lathering up ribs and other things. He's doing a lot of lathering on that thing.
When's the last time you won the Soldier Field?
Hey, Flip, who's your defensive line MVP for the Vikings?
I didn't watch the defensive line today, man. I was just shocked.
Altogether, the whole season. The whole season. Who would you have to pick? You had to pick somebody if you had to.
You know, I don't. It would be Wanham, but I'm not sure that we're giving the interior enough credit. Obviously, it's not flashy, but I think that guys like Jaleel Johnson, guys like Hercules Mata'afa,
half a sack today.
Again, not anything that's going to show up on the stat sheet, but they have been really challenged in the run game, and they held up better today, partly because the Lions have terrible coaching and they just didn't even try to run it up the middle on us. But I just think it takes a lot, 8 games into the year now, and they're still, not completely falling apart.
Well, and that's just it. They're not falling apart. I expected, with all the injuries and the holdouts and the COVID outs and all that, I expected that defense to be in severe trouble.
If you remember that Indy game, the interior defensive line got their butts kicked in that Indy game, and they are still one of the weak points of the defense. But
yeah, after watching the Lions today, I'm thinking the Vikings. We have a lot of problems with our team, and we're not having a banner year. But man, that team is ghastly. They look like
Drew, we got the same record as the Lions. Like, we are. We're that bad. We're that bad when we're bad.
They're like worse than my Wolverines. Well, maybe not.
Well, maybe not.
Drew, the Vikings and the Lions have the same record. That means they're just as good. We are that bad on a bad day.
The Lions just
if you think it's weird to see Matt Stafford just throwing easy interceptions, we throw easy interceptions. If you think
I kind of meant we're not having a great year. There's not a lot to cheer about, but I'm glad. I feel like the Vikings are still in a better place than the Lions are long term. They just look like it's just bad, dude. It's just really bad.
Yeah. Well, we got a better coach.
What do you think about, speaking of the coach, of his challenges today?
He challenged Adrian Peterson incomplete screen pass. He won that challenge. He challenged a Dalvin Cook touchdown. He won that challenge. So I guess, let's just the results speak for it. Good job, Mike Zimmer.
Which is unusual for Mike Zimmer.
Tell Zimmer to go with the banner, the bandit look.
That? Oh, what are you holding right now?
Come on, you've got your red flag.
What?
Where is it?
Guys, I ain't no coach watching the game. I'm in the crowd, man.
No, I'm telling you, Zimmer should go with the bandit look with the thing instead of that dumbass screen. That screen is ridiculous, dude.
No, the screen is way better. Nobody likes that.
The screen makes you look like a fool. You know what? I saw Zimmer a couple times today. Zimmer does not like Kirk Cousins. I can tell. I can tell by he hates that fucking guy. He hates him, dude. He doesn't like him at all. He has this look on his face like somebody pissed in his Cheerios every time they show him after a Cousins play.
Yeah, man. Because he's like, Every time he knows it's a pass, because Zimmer hears it in the mic, he hears it in the headphone. They call a pass play, and you can hear Zimmer be like, Kirk, if you throw this motherfucking interception,
I'm going to kill you.
Kirk.
Well, I'm
Kirk
sure
goes
the other
there.
team is watching Zimmer's facial expressions as the call comes in and knows, hey, it's a pass.
And a lot of times, if the quarterback makes a mistake when you're watching a football game, the camera goes right to the head coach after the mistake.
Yeah,
And
that delay a game penalty, Zimmer was like, Kirk, you snapped.
Yeah,
Kirk.
that's what I seen. He said, look on his face like, yeah. A challenge flag. I'll tell him a penalty flag.
Challenge. Why? What's the
I
point
don't know,
of
because
those?
Dave sent them to me.
Yeah, we all had them. We'd all would throw, hey, no, when we disagreed.
You throw them during the game?
No,
And
we
then
throw
you got to
them
get
during
up
the
out
show.
your seat?
We throw them during the show.
That's
I gotta
my
send you.
haven't-
I gotta send you a set.
Mine's
You just
full of
haven't
meth.
thrown me? You just haven't thrown me a flag because you never disagree with me? Is that what you're trying to say? I'll take that. Hey, you put that flag down, Drew. I have committed no penalties.
This is how it
on
looks
this
like
show.
if I was hanging out with John Matuzak again. This is what it would look like.
Reggie, it was a Kirk miss. Never ask that question again. If you're
What
trying to
did he say?
decide between a Kirk miss and a Thielen drop, it's
It's
always
a
Kirk miss.
Yeah, he
Yes.
missed him on that.
Oh, but it was that's so close. It,
was
went off
close.
his fingers.
It was close. It's okay.
don't like
'cause
doing
we
It
got
was
down
almost
to-
like
way.
Thielen wasn't expecting it. That's
They
what
don't like to do it the
initially
easy
hit
way.
me.
Vikings like to have some drama involved in their games. Let's let them block a punt when the game's over with.
Drew, stop, man. Where's my challenge flag? There was no drama in that game. There was no drama in that game.
All right,
Dude.
now we've obviously.
Oh, yeah,
won. It's gonna be-
Wait a minute. Eric Wilson was going to look like shit if DeAndre Swift caught that ball. He was taking it in the fucking end zone, too. So let's not forget how piss poor the coverage was on that. All right? Go ahead. Throw it back to you. I mean, was he not? Was Swift not going to score on that play?
Eric Wilson. People want to give Eric Wilson some like $7 million per year linebacker contract. Like he should be making more than Dalvin Cook. Come on. Come on.
Darren asked if these were my nuts. Well, that's meaning a lot coming from a guy who watches fucking CFL
All right, next
football.
topic. Next topic.
Next
He's just
topic
mad because we
is
got the Stanley Cup. You're never getting the fucking Stanley Cup back, Darren. Ever. You're never getting it.
Freddie, I live in Los Angeles because they pay me to live in Los Angeles. It's that simple.
Ooh,
It's
they
that
gotta pay you well. Plus, the women are gorgeous.
It's been a good weekend.
Not in all
And
of
it
LA.
has been a good weekend, and it should be a good week. But we do have a game coming up next Monday night.
That'll be the test.
Against the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. On grass,
Man.
under lights, in prime time. So, should be good. But, any last words there, Drew?
Nice win. I'll take 3 and 5. It's always better to win than lose. I'm not worried about the tank thing and everything because we're going to mess up the draft pick anyway. So I'm going to try to get wins while we can get it. We wait all year for Vikings football. Of course we want to win. We want to win. And we won. Matt Patricia, hang your shit up now and start down the road because you are terrible.
Flip.
Oh, great win. I don't have anything to say about next week. Just let's see this team show up every week. They've showed up twice in a row. It's great to see. Got to take it one game at a time. Dalvin Cook, MVP. Underpaid, MVP. Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins, clean game, no turnovers. We got a scrappy defense. We got receivers we don't use enough.
Uh-huh.
So let's enjoy this victory. Enjoy your victory Monday. We got plenty of time to talk about the Bears next Monday night. Nobody's getting ahead of ourselves. Hopefully nobody got COVID from Matt Stafford. Let's go, baby. Go Vikings. If I hear some report that Ezra Cleveland somehow got like Hercules Mataafa gave the Rona to Ezra Cleveland, I'm gonna be hot. I'm flying to Detroit,
Yep.
taking out It's Eric Wilson's fault. Great game, guys. Skull Vikings.
Eric Wilson's fault.
Everybody else.
No, there's Adrian on the bench looking across going, see, Cook, that used to be me, baby. That used to be me.
Everybody else, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy friends, family, and by all means, good food and drink. And Skull Vikings!
Never get the Stanley Cup back, Darren.
Thank you for watching or listening. As always, if you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And if you're listening to the podcast, please rate us on your favorite aggregator. Skol, everybody.